Look, I am not clickbaiting you here. I actually have done the work and I have a very good idea what the topic of your argumentative essay is going to be on the AP government exam. We ain't got no time to waste, so if you're ready to get them brain cows milked, let's get to it. Okay, by now, hopefully you know that on the fourth free response question, otherwise known as the argumentative essay, you're gonna get a prompt and then they'll give you 3 documents from the list of 9 required documents for the course, and you're gonna be required to use at least one of those documents to craft your response. And then you have the option to choose another document for a second piece of evidence, or you can choose to include some other concept from the course. And if you're nervous about anything on the exam, it's probably this question. There's like 8,000 potential concepts they could ask you about, and that probably makes your armpits all kinds of sweaty. But hey, come real close, because I have got a secret for you. It is not hard to have a general idea of what kind of question the College Board overlords are going to ask you in this FRQ. In other words, there are only so many ways to arrange these 9 documents, and that gives us one of 4 themes that you are very likely to see on your exam. Like, hear me, there are really only 4 possible topics that you're going to see, and I'm about to split them up real nice. But before I do, if you need a quick summary of all those required documents or all the required SCOTUS cases, or frankly every unit and topic of the course, then my AP Gov Heimler review guide is going to make all your dreams come true. And that link is in the description. Okay, so the first potential theme of the essay is federalism, and this one is a darling of the College Board because it has roots in a metric buttload of AP Gov course concepts. And the idea for federalism is simple. Is it better for the federal government to have more power or the state governments to have more power? And on past exams, this concept has had a finer point on it, like education or environmental policy. And in a federalism question, you are almost sure to see the following combination of documents. On the side arguing for state power, you'll see Brutus I and or the 10th Amendment. On the other side arguing for federal power, it's likely you're going to see the Constitution, especially Article 1 or the 14th Amendment and Federalist 10. Okay, now the second theme that consistently shows up in this question is checks and balances and separation of powers. And again, this theme is going to have a finer point on it, something like asking whether a single branch of government, the legislative, the executive, or the judicial, should have the level of power that it does. Additionally, you might see a question asking about how one branch can check the power of another branch. And for either of those themes I just mentioned, you are almost certainly going to see Federalist 51 because, you know, that's exactly what it's about. Or if the finer point on this theme is executive power, you're likely to see Federalist 70 and Article 2 of the Constitution. Are you smelling what I'm stepping in? Well, I certainly hope so, and that means we can move on to the third potential theme, namely balancing individual citizens' rights with public safety and order. Or you might see this expressed as a question about balancing the rights of the majority versus the minority, or maybe other groups of citizens as well. And for this kind of question, you can expect to see the various parts of the Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights, and most especially the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. Okay, now the fourth potential theme for the argumentative essay is about who has power in a democracy. And yeah, I know the textbook answer is that the people have the power in the United States, but here we're talking about the real world. Like, is that actually true in the functions and operations of the United States on a practical level? So if you see this kind of question, you are for sure probably going to see MLK's letter from a Birmingham jail, because it's all about the power of social movements to create change in policy. In other words, this document is an illustration of how the people take back governing power that is rightly theirs. On the other side, you'll likely see the Constitution, specifically Articles 1 through 3, which you can use to argue that government power and processes are the most effective means to create social change. Okay, now to be clear, I have precisely 0 inside information here. I don't have a mole in the College Board feeding me all these themes. I'm just telling you how they have shown up in the past, and that logically, concerning the documents you're going to see, there are only so many ways that you can arrange them. So get these 4 themes firmly crammed into your brain folds, and if you do, then you will walk into that argumentative essay and crush it in your mind fights. Okay, click here for some help on the other FRQs you're going to see on your exam. And click here to grab my AP Gov Heimler review guide, which has everything you need to study as fast as possible and get a 5 on that exam. I'll catch you on the flip-flop. Heimler out.